Oh, we actually have to talk about this game? Oh, that's fun. This is the only good thing about the game tonight, you guys. Is the fact I've got Starburst jelly beans. I love it.
What a funny, quirky intro, Ryan. Good job.
It's okay. I brought a snack too.
This game doesn't deserve a normal intro or a happy intro. Everyone's got their thing. James, what do you got? Nature Valley Bar? Oh, those are good. Which one?
It's the dark chocolate one.
Dark chocolate?
With the almonds.
Yeah. And what do you got, Chris? Chips?
Potato.
What kind of chip is it, though? Is it like the off-brand, like Sam's Club kind?
Yep. Stars lose 5-2 to Edmonton because we only have one line. Ryan, thoughts?
All right. Sorry, I got jelly beans on my teeth. Anyways, guys, funny business out of the side. Seriousness. This is the after-game review for game number 77. Stars do lose by a final score of 5-2 to the Edmonton Oilers here tonight with an almost empty net goal by Mike Smith. He had a couple chances, but he missed both. And, I don't even know what to say about this game. This game was dumb. We played for 10 minutes, and that was about it. And I think the only time we played the 10 minutes was the first 10 minutes of the second period when we, tied the game up. And that was the only time we had pressure consistently throughout the game. I don't know how you guys felt about it, but what are your thoughts from tonight's game?
We had inconsistent pressure throughout the game by one line, the top line. They had scoring chances the entirety of the game. And every other line was terrible. Honestly, they were just bad. And we talked about recently about how great the checking line was. They were awful tonight. They didn't do the job at all. It wasn't even close.
James, what'd you see in tonight's game? Anything particular that you didn't like to see?
It's same lines along with Chris. We had one line that played tonight, and they played the best both offensively and defensively. And
yeah,
that's a big problem.
Yeah, for us having one line that only does defense, that's an awful problem.
And there was even one point when the top line was actually hemmed in their own zone for almost 2 minutes. They had a 2-minute shift because, give credit to the Edmonton Oilers. They were by far the best team tonight. Not even a question. Like I already said, the Stars had that 10-minute period where they were the better team and they had good scoring chances. They were getting pressure in the offensive zone. And almost as soon as we scored that second goal to tie the game, at that point, the game was over. And Edmonton just ran away with it. So
yeah. Before we get into the score summary, biggest winners, biggest losers, biggest winner from both of you.
No one.
No one.
Nobody wins today.
Winner is no one.
Nobody wins today. The first line did good. That's what they always do. We expect them from them. No one else really stood out tonight to me. So
I'll give it biggest winner. Biggest winner to Edmonton's secondary scoring. They did very well tonight. It wasn't just McDavid and Draisaitl. They got goals from elsewhere. If they do that, they're going to be a hard team to beat in the playoffs.
Honestly, my biggest winner, I would say, is Mike Smith, because Mike Smith had a good game tonight. And he even had opportunities at the empty net. He tried. He didn't get there, but he definitely did try. And especially that 10-minute period in the second period where they were having multiple chances, he stood tall. And
he played well on the 6-on-5 as well.
He did very well on the 6-on-5 as well. And we should also mention that the guy had back-to-back shutouts and had not let in a goal until I think it was Robertson who got the first goal for the Stars. So in that first period. So
and boy, that could be scary going into the playoffs. That could make them a contender immediately if Mike Smith gets hot. Stars fans know how good Mike Smith can be.
Yeah, we remember when he got traded to Tampa Bay. When Brad Richards came here and was supposed to play with Mike Modano, we gave up Mike Smith for that. That was the big piece going the other direction. And he's had a fantastic career. He's old. He's in his 40s now, but he's still proving that he can be a pretty good goaltender. I think he's being used in the wrong way, if you ask me. I think he would be better suited as a backup goaltender that plays, 30 to 35 games, in my opinion. But he's at least showing right now that for the Edmonton Oilers, he can kind of backstop that goal crease and give them opportunities to win games. So, I mean, good for him. So
definitely a starter in my opinion. But on from the biggest winners, give us some biggest losers. Narrow it down. Narrow it down.
I know. That's what I was like. Who am I gonna pick? James, you want to go first? Or you want me to?
You go first.
I got one. I'll go first. Okay. I'm giving it to the checking line. Well, they've done great recently. Shut up, James. They've done well recently, and they've for the most part stopped the other team's best line. Tonight they were not close. If one of y'all is close to the stats, I'd like to have y'all pull up their plus minuses. I believe total they were -6. Foxa alone is -3. I mean, I know I don't like plus minus, but within the game, for a line whose only job is to not allow goals, that's not good. That's very bad, in fact. So I don't know. Like, we can expect our top line to try and win us games sometimes, but we can't if the other lines can't even. But like, we're not even asking them to try and make scoring chances. We're asking them to just not get scored on, and they can't do that. Like, then what can they do? They can do nothing. They're taking up ice time, is what it is. And they still get lots of it tonight, too.
And Chris, it's even worse. It's not -6. It's -7.
It's -7, yeah.
There you go.
Foxa with a -3, Raffle with a -2, Glendenning with a -2. So they were definitely not helpful tonight. And, I mean, lots of people ended with a minus on their card tonight. But
those are the guys that it's most concerning about, because they're supposed to be the guys who are at 0. So,
but you know who played 18 and a half minutes of game time and ended with a dead even, which is good in this game?
Who?
Tyler Sagan. He's still been very good. And tonight it was more defensively. He had a lot more defensive opportunities that he was doing really well on. There's some back checks that I noticed him on. But after singing his praises the past couple of podcasts, I got to give my biggest loser to Jacob Peterson tonight again. There's got to be something going on with him. He's got to be hurt. He's playing really badly, and numerous times tonight there were times in the offensive zone where he either just turned the puck over or did absolutely nothing with it. And he was on that second line tonight. And by the way, the lines looked great. Before game. Looked exactly like how I might want the lines, and they sucked. So I don't know what to say, but going back to Peterson, I'm getting off on a tangent here. But even in the defensive zone, he was turning the puck over as well, and it was at least 2 or 3 times I noticed that he turned the puck over. So he's my biggest loser tonight.
All right, I'm gonna go with Alexander Rajaloff. Oh my goodness!
It's funny we keep saying the same guys, don't we?
It's frustrating with Rajaloff the most because we are paying him so much to be so bad, and I think he ends the night. He barely ends the night. He's second in time on ice, least amount of time on ice to be specific. He's second lowest. He played 10 minutes and 30 seconds. He ends the night with a -2.
That's crazy. How do you get a -2 when you only play 10 minutes?
And I mean, to be fair, the one who played the least tonight was Stu Neach. He played right at 10 minutes, pretty much. He also has a -2. So
same line.
It's like
didn't make me feel better.
But one we pay like
$5 million,
and then the other one we pay a lot. So it's like. One you can kind of cut some slack for. The others,
we've talked about how bad the Ben and Sagan contracts are. The Rajaloff contract is worse.
Yeah, he's by far been the worst. And just for the Ben and Sagan contracts, at least in this last little stretch, they have been scoring more than they were in the beginning of the season. So,
if they started the season the way that they're playing now, you could at least argue that it's somewhat worth the contract. But Rajaloff, there's no chance. He's bad defensively. He's not producing anything offensively, and we still pay him $5 million. That's nuts.
And I mean, imagine if we had that cap space right now. We could have gone.
We could have gone and got a top 6 forward.
which obviously is what we're missing right now, because with Jamie and Sagan, both, I would argue, as that second line, there's nobody to play with them. There's nobody. I mean, you might as well throw somebody random on that line right now, because nothing is sticking. They've tried Studenic, they've tried Rajaloff, they've tried Peterson. My thing is, at this point, throw Michael Raffle on that line, because maybe
I honestly don't care.
Honestly, at this point, I don't care, because he needs to get out of a scoring slump. And I mean, he scored recently, but he needs to get out of a scoring slump that he's been in. He's had so many chances, and we need somebody else. There has to be somebody else.
Yeah,
I mean, throw Pops on the second line for crying out loud. At this point, I'm just sick of this. And I know that he went out and got Nemestikov, but Nemestikov is not a top 6 forward either. He's not.
Well, Fox is not.
But I mean, what are we supposed to do? The lines, the line combos don't work.
Yeah. I mean, what it was supposed to do when we bought Radulov, he was supposed to be the pair to Ben and Sagan. I mean, that's what he was. That's why we got him, and that's why he's paid $5 million, and nowhere close to that right now.
I think it's $6 million, but still,
I think it's 5.5, but whatever. Go ahead with the game summary, Ryan. Make it snappy.
Yeah, we're not going to do this live. We're just going to talk about the goals. So, okay, so first goal in tonight's game. Evander Kane gets his 17th of the season. I hate seeing that. He scored for the second time against the Stars. Connor McDavid gets his 69th assist of the season. That's insane. 69 assists. And then Stars legend block shotter Chris Russell gets his 6th assist. And Edmonton's up 1-0 3 minutes into the first period, and I'm already thinking, holy crap.
And that's a bad play by Heiskanen.
Yep.
I mean, he leaves the front of the net wide open because it's too scared of McDavid doing a wraparound. I mean, that's his fault. Yeah. Sucks. That just shows how many people were bad tonight, I think.
And here's where we actually give McDavid too much credit on the ice. Every single one of our forwards is also looking at McDavid. Everyone on the ice is looking at him. No one picks up the extra man. Heiskanen goes around because McDavid's fast and he's scared of over there. All the forwards are looking at him and don't even check behind them, and sneaks in behind, makes a crazy pass, by the way. Like,
that was a good pass.
To be fair, we're not expecting that pass to go through there, but you're not supposed to be looking at him anyway. So
bad goal.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, going on to the second goal, Derek Ryan gets his 9th of the year from Ryan McLeod and Tyson Barrie. It's 2-0 Stars. It's a wrist shot. It was a decent shot. I mean, I can't fault Wedgwood completely on that, but the Stars came out completely flat. And going down 2-0 within the first 7 minutes of the first period, that's a really great way to start a game. Sorry, or a period for that matter.
Yep. Not good.
So, anyways, the fortunes would turn around for the Stars. Jason Robertson would get his 37th of the year. He's not being talked about enough. He needs to be talked about more around the NHL. From Rope Hintz and John Klingberg. So John Klingberg gets on the assist tracker tonight, and it's 2-1 Edmonton, and they take that lead and snap it in half. It was a great shot by Robertson. I mean, Smith did not have any chance on that whatsoever. It was such a good shot that it hit the crossbar and went straight down. So the fact that he made that shot is amazing. You can't blame Mike Smith on that one. What do y'all think?
Our top line looks so good right now too. I mean, the goals that they had were great. I mean, they just belayed Edmonton's defense, and we've had the past couple of games they've had some really good goals. But like, I mean, we're expecting them to score 4 goals a night to try and get a point. It's not going to happen.
And this is what's funny is this was Edmonton's problem the last 2 times we faced them. They didn't have any secondary scoring pretty much in those games, and we were able to shut down their top line. I mean, and in the playoffs, if we end up going into the playoffs like this, that top line's going to get shut down. Someone else has to score.
Yeah, I think that's our biggest weakness, James, when we go into the playoffs, because the physicality. I honestly don't know if Robertson and Hintz are going to be able to take it.
Yeah,
I mean, we'll see, but
we don't know.
And also the craziest thing is like at this point, it's still an if right now. If we keep playing like this, we're not going to make it.
Which at this point, it shouldn't have been an if. We should be solidly in right now.
Yeah, definitely.
And again, I'll go back to it. The games we've lost to bad teams. I mean, we should be in the top 3 of this division right now. And because we're not able to beat the really crappy teams, the Montreals, the Vancouvers 3 times, Montreal twice.
And Vancouver, I'm going to go back to Vancouver because we know we have a back-to-back coming up against 2 amazing teams. 2 teams that are in the top of their division. We know that's coming up. You have to win the Vancouver game. Like, you have to. Like, and we talked about that before the Vancouver game started, the podcast before. We were like, it's very likely we're going to lose both of these games. And who guessed it? Looks like we're going to lose both the games. So I don't know how you're not ready for that Vancouver game because they really weren't. And they weren't ready for this game either.
Yeah. And that Vancouver game was one of the worst games they've played this season. I'd put it up there with the first Toronto game that they lost 4-0 at. It's frustrating. It's just extremely frustrating to watch this team and see what they can do. Thankfully, though, right now, at least, the Capitals are ahead 2-1 over the Golden Knights. So hopefully this doesn't bite us in the butt. But if Vancouver comes back, if Vegas comes back and wins this game, they're only 2 points behind us.
The thing that's really frustrating, though, is like last week we played 4 games and we got 7 points in those games. And we were playing easy teams in that week. I mean, we had the Blackhawks and we had the Sharks, which were easy. Those should be wins automatically, right? But we played the Lightning, who we won 1-0, which that is absolutely insane, by the way. And then we played the Wild in a tight game that we probably should have won and just couldn't score more than 2 goals in the game. Like, we come off of a 7-8 week and we can't even find a way to beat Vancouver.
Yeah, and we're about to go 0-6.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens tomorrow, but the Stars are not good on back-to-backs.
Yeah, I just don't see how you can look at the game tomorrow and say, oh, they're going to come out better tomorrow because, 1, they didn't come out and play well tonight, and 2, they're going to be tired. So I just don't see it. I don't see it. So anyway, at the end of the first period, it's 2-1. Hintz would score for the Stars, his 35th of the year from Robo and Pavs. 5 minutes in, and it's tied 2-2. But after that goal, it just goes south at that point. After that, it's all 100% Edmonton Oilers for the next 35 minutes. And to make matters worse, Zach Hyman gets his 25th of the year from Draisaitl and Bouchard, makes it 3-2 Edmonton at that point. It was a great backhand shot. It really was. And then Jesse Puljujärvi would get his 14th of the season from Evan Bouchard, who has been a really good offensive defenseman for Edmonton this year. And Connor McDavid gets his 70th assist. And, I thought for a second that, maybe we could go into the intermission and be down 3-2 and find a way to come back because we do really good in those 1-goal games. But again, a goal at an inopportune time for the Stars, and it's 4-2. And at that point, I'm like, this game's over.
Yeah,
not a chance.
Yeah. And that was kind of the whole mentality for everyone. I feel like the Edmonton Oilers were pressing the whole game, and they finally got a 2-goal lead on us, and we didn't look like we had any fight left, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah, they didn't show it in the third either. I mean, the 6-on-5 was actually pretty good, surprisingly, but the third period, we showed almost no pushback. We had 1 chance, I think, before the 6-on-5 started. So, and real quick, I want to go back to the third goal. That's a bad rebound by Wedgwood. He has to hold on to that, but I'll forgive him because the rest of the game, he was amazing. I mean, he lets in 4 goals and his save percentage is like .917 for this game. That's crazy.
Because he 50 shots on 50 goal. Shots, yeah.
But
that's insane.
It's Edmonton, though. They're just going to throw the pucks at the net, and you got to have – and this is – I was frustrated with Wedgwood on this. He had no rebound control tonight, and especially that third goal is what I'm thinking of specifically. He couldn't get a save to freeze play at all. Like, it was probably 3 minutes straight where Edmonton was just pushing, and we just needed anything to stop play. And he couldn't freeze it at all. And anytime they shot it on me, bounced off, goes to the corner. Okay, went to the corner. Good. We don't need that right now. We need it to stop. Sometimes you really just need a save to stop play, slow it down, and be able to get back ahead of the changes on the bench.
Yeah, but
the other thing you can say about that is rebound control, though.
He's facing a barrage of shots, though, that he shouldn't have to face. I mean, they had over 40 shots through the first 40 minutes of play. That shouldn't happen.
And again, this is Edmonton, and it's Edmonton, and they're going to shoot a bunch of pucks. And it's like, of course, Wedgwood is not the reason why we lost the game tonight, but there was just a lot of times where you just need a save to stop play at all, like any freeze. We just needed the game to be slower tonight.
Yeah,
and we weren't really getting that.
I'll agree he wasn't super helpful, but like you said, he definitely wasn't the reason we lost.
He didn't really hurt us tonight, not necessarily, but he was not helping.
He was not super helpful. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, what did y'all think about the fourth goal? It bounced off Puljujärvi's shin.
The fourth goal's lucky. I mean, how are you gonna bounce off someone's shin and then go posting in? Like what?
Yeah, but the Stars do that all the time.
Not all the time. The Stars deflect them and have beautiful tips. They don't just hit a shin pad. The only star that does that is Sagan.
Yeah, I was about to say, Sagan does that now, and he's made how he's made his money the past couple of years. So, but I don't know, guys. This is starting to become a frightening pattern, and at the wrong time coming into the playoffs.
And it's so frightening because we're Stars fans, and the Stars are great at looking like they're solidly in the playoffs and blowing it.
Yep.
And boy, my heart is in my throat right now. It seriously is. Like, just my entire being is just saying there's no chance that they make it. Like, seriously. Everything in my head is telling me that. And I hate it.
We're still 4 points ahead.
We're 4 points ahead, and my brain is like, nope, we're done.
I'm thinking the same thing too.
No, that's okay. No, that's exactly how I'm feeling as well. Because I'm feeling like we're not going to make the playoffs because that's just the way the Stars do. They always, and I was talking about this on the live watch along that I did on the THPN YouTube channel today. I was like, yeah, they're in the playoffs. Yeah, they have a 90% chance of making the playoffs according to Money Puck, but the Stars always seem to find a way to screw it up. They always do, especially recently. Given the 2020 bubble playoffs out to the side, they've found a way to kind of screw everything up. And that's why, as Stars fans, we're so skeptical. Sorry. This is a really interesting. There's a really interesting comment from Ardell here because Ardell is a really good loyal listener to the show. Ryan Miro Heiskanen has 0 goals in 38 games now. That is a staggering statistic. Absolutely staggering. I know that he's been doing really, really well, defensively, and he's
not tonight.
No, not tonight. That's true. And I know he's still trying to get over mononucleosis, but I mean, he's got to shoot the puck.
Yeah,
I haven't seen him shoot the puck very much lately.
If you get paid $8 million, you're getting paid to score goals, not to be a great defenseman. Lindell's a great defenseman. He gets paid $5 million. That's how much you get paid if you're a good defenseman. You get $5 million. He's getting $8 million. You got to score goals. I mean, I think it's still something with the way Bones is playing them, because I don't think it's a coincidence that it's happened to Klingberg, Heiskanen, and Suter, because Suter was offensive when he played for Minnesota too, remember? So I don't think that's a coincidence, but they got to find some way to produce something.
Yeah, we just need somebody else to pitch in, honestly.
Yeah, literally anybody.
Or as Ardell says, literally right here, as I say that, Dallas doesn't need world beaters, guys. Dallas needs guys to chip in. And the only guys that are doing it right now are the top 5.
Line. Not even the top 5. Top 3.
Sagan and Ben have been good. They've been quietly good, but we again, with the amount of money that they make, they should not be second-line players. They should be
playing them first-line money, and we're like, all right, they're kind of second-line players. Yeah. I'm not putting them in the top 5. I'm not calling them top 5 with crap like that.
So top 3?
There's a top 3, and then there's everybody else, and that's obvious from the points too. We're not gonna throw them in there because they've been better recently. They've been acceptable recently. and they've been trash the rest of the year.
I don't know why this just popped into my head, but it did. And I can't believe I'm going to ask this question because it's stupid. Should we consider splitting up the top line?
No, that's stupid.
The problem.
You were right, Ryan. That is dumb.
Yeah.
Okay, then you give me another solution because we can't find anything. There is no solution to the second line problem and no scoring from anybody else.
Okay, well, if you take out the first line, you're going to get no scoring from the first line. That's not the way to do it. When Boston's having trouble, they don't split up Bergeron. I mean,
they have. They've taken Pasternak off of that top line sometimes and put him on the second line. But we've tried everything. We have tried everything. He has taken those three lines on the bottom, kept the top line together, which again I understand, and I'm like so conflicted right now because yes, it's stupid. But my question is what else are we supposed to do? Because no other combination works. No other combination works.
The people we pay $9 million have to score goals. I mean, that's what it is.
But they're not. They're not, okay. And we're going into the playoffs.
Yeah. And
we're going to get our butts kicked.
I've already talked about how I don't think they're the guys, and I think stuff needs to change, but nothing changed. So, but with what we have, on paper, it works great. So these guys need to play to their ability. I mean, that's all you can say right now. There's nothing else we can do except, I guess, scramble lines. But if you break up one of the best lines in hockey 5 games before the playoffs, I mean, I think you're a madman. I mean,
no, that's
evil scientist crap.
No, I agree with you. I'm just putting forward that question because I'm just so desperate to try and find a solution to our problem. And our solution to the problem was going out and getting Nemesnikov, who's not a top 6 forward, and Scott Wedgwood. I'm sorry, Scott Wedgwood he's an okay backup goalie.
He's a good backup goalie. Let's give him some credit. He's played great.
He's okay. He's okay. I didn't think he's lost. He lost the game tonight. It wasn't really his fault, but still. And now we're starting to question our goaltending too. And it's like,
I mean, for sure, like I don't fully agree with like saying that Nemesnikov was a bad pickup. I think he was a great pickup because you know who's right under Ben on season scoring in goals, right? It's Nemesnikov. He's 14
with Detroit.
With Detroit. Guess who's technically 6th for Stars goal scoring on the season?
Peterson.
It's Jacob Peterson,
who gets healthy scratched constantly,
all the time, and doesn't get to play on the second line hardly ever.
But he's been bad recently too. I mean, like,
no. See, it's just spinning our wheels in the mud. We're just spinning the wheels. We're like, he's been really bad lately. Okay. What? You see what I mean? Why I'm even like asking that stupid question? Because there's no solution to anything.
I feel more comfortable letting our first line try and win games on their own than I do trying to spread them out and get more goals from elsewhere, honestly.
I agree.
I think we score more goals with the first line together than we do spreading them out, no matter what.
But what if that is the solution? What if somehow Rope Hintz takes Peterson and Garrionoff on his wings and he's able to provide offense for those two guys?
What if Hitler cured cancer? I don't know.
Thank you, Chris. Really, I think the top line that we have here is one of the best top lines at working together to score goals.
Yeah, that's their whole thing.
They're not crazy people who are gonna go stick handle everyone out of their mind and they do that sometimes. They've done it like maybe 3 or 4 times on the season. That's 3 goals out of their almost they're getting to 100, I think, combined. I think they're 3 off of 100 goals for the season combined. And they have 3 that are scored, and that's random number, obviously, but like they're not super alone skill plays that these guys do.
They're passing plays. They make good passes in the zone, they get slot shots, and they score on them. That's how they score goals. They don't score goals by making great individual plays. If they were making great individual plays, I would say, yeah, that's a great idea to spread them out. I agree with you, James. That's a great point.
Can Hintz not do that?
Hintz can Robertson do that? Can Pavelski do that?
I think
I don't know.
Could.
I don't think so.
So, well, I mean, you understand why I'm asking that question, though, right?
I understand, but I think it's wrong.
Stupid. I agree. I agree with you both. It's stupid that I would even ask that question, but it just goes to the fact of how desperate I am to see this team win. And
honestly, tonight, if we just have the rest of our lines just play defense and they play crazy good defense, the game's probably at least tied going into the
it's at least in overtime.
But we can't even get that right now.
Yeah, and we have one line that's supposed to be so great at defense, and they can't do it. So,
well, see, that's the point, is that our lines can't do either one. We have one line
our first line can do both.
Yes.
Our first line did do both. They didn't get scored on this game. 5 goals, they didn't get scored on. Well, the empty net might have been on them. Yeah.
It was on them. That was it.
That
was their one flaw on the night. Was an empty
scored on empty net by Connor McDavid.
Darn.
Terrible defense. Bench them all.
Well, and we didn't even finish the goal summary, but that was it. You just did it. Connor McDavid got it. So
Connor McDavid empty net. Yay.
Shock. Whoa.
So
Pat his stats. He needs it.
I think he's leading the Art Ross? Yeah, it's the Art Ross race right now for most points. So he's over Jonathan Huberdeau right now.
Shock. Again,
shots on goal 50-36, the breakdown per period 19-14 in the first, 21-11 in the second, and then 11-10 in the third in favor of the Stars. The first 2 periods were in favor of the Edmonton Oilers, and all 3 periods had all double-digit shots, which is weird for a Dallas Stars game. Total shots, again, like I said, 50-36. Face-off percentage, 52-48. Power play, especially that second one, really, really sucked. The first one was okay. The second one was absolutely terrible when we needed it to be good. Hits, 29-28. There was that one big hit by Darnell Nurse on Jamie Benn, threw Jamie Benn into the Edmonton Oilers bench. That was
I hate Darnell Nurse, but that was so cool. And to do it on Jamie Benn too, like the perfect player to do it on. That's awesome. That's hardcore, bro.
And I know you don't like the stat, Chris, but it's a little alarming. Takeaways in the game, 16-5 in favor of the Edmonton Oilers. So, I mean, I know that stat is very
trashy.
Trashy, yeah, that's a good word to put it. But still, if the margin is that big, you know that the Stars didn't play a good game tonight.
No, you don't. You know the scorekeeper's biased, which of course they are.
And just one stat that I wanted to pull out just off of past games that we played with Edmonton. In the past, the other 2 games that we beat Edmonton in, they had under 30 shots in.
So that's an important thing.
Yeah, we didn't understand the assignment tonight, I guess. We play defense against this team and they lose always.
We didn't play defense.
We didn't play defense. We can't outscore this team with one line running.
And that's totally funny that you mentioned that, because looking at the shots and per period, especially that first period when they almost got 20 shots in that first period, the Edmonton Oilers did, you knew that was part of their game plan. It's like they probably saw what you just saw, James, and realized, hey, we got under 30 shots in the last 2 games against these guys, and they beat us. So the least we can do is just fire up everything at the net and hope something sticks, and it did.
What's even crazier to me is that even with the Stars 36 shots on goal tonight, that's still more shots than either team in the past 2 games that we played against them too. So this game had way too many shots to be a Stars game.
It was way too wide open.
Agreed.
I'm done.
You're done. Well,
oh man, that was such a hard game to watch too, man.
Yep. Now, Chris, you don't have to join us in on this if you don't want to, but I figured we'd end on something a little bit more positive. Talk about the Eastern Conference playoffs and make our predictions, because they're already done. We already know who's basically playing who. So I'll just throw out the matchups, and you tell me who wins. Okay.
Okay.
So let's start with some of the easier ones, and this is the Eastern Conference. So we're just doing the Eastern Conference tonight because the West is still to be determined who makes the playoffs. So first matchup is Florida and Washington. Florida with 116 points and Washington with 96. Who wins that matchup?
Florida in 5.
Florida in 5?
Florida wins it in 6. I think
you just had to
Alex
be
gives them an extra game.
Well, I think the Caps are just going to be able to play defense against them for 2 games, and then the rest, the Panthers are just going to outscore their problems.
Well-known defensive team, the Capitals.
Hey, you're playing against the Panthers. You know what your game plan is going into that. So, the Panthers are just going to try to score. I mean, most of the games in the East should be like crazy high scoring, but we'll see.
I think that's going to be a fun series. I mean, all of these series in the East are going to be really good because all these teams are pretty good. It's just that Washington is kind of the veterans of the league in terms of teams because they've been around for so long. I just don't see how they get out of the first round against Florida. That's just me. Florida's got, I mean, look at their goal differential. They have a plus 100. That's stupid. Absolutely stupid. Guess who's on their third line?
Who? Tell me.
Sam Reinhart. He was on the first line in Buffalo.
He would be on our first line.
That's stupid.
Oh, man.
Stupid. And not to mention, they have a 30-goal scorer in Anthony Duclair who makes $3 million. You know who else makes $3 million? Radek Faksa.
We knew what we were getting and we paid him that. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, man. Okay, we're already getting on tangents back to the Stars. Let's go back to
next
the
matchup.
Back to the matchup.
All right, here's a tough one. You ready? And this is going to be a fun one to talk about. Toronto and Tampa Bay. This is going to be a really fun series. I'm really looking forward to this one. Who wins?
I don't know about fun, man.
Tampa Bay in 7. Tampa Bay in 7 in quadruple overtime. And Toronto scores a goal in the second overtime, but it's overturned due to offsides.
Hot takes by Chris.
I need to do a parlay for that one.
I think this should be heavily leaned towards Tampa Bay, in my opinion. I know Toronto's really good and they're really strong. They have a lot of good players offensively, but their goaltending has kind of slipped a little here in the past month.
Their blue line's terrible.
And they're going up against Andre Vasilevsky. Like, come on.
The best goaltender of the decade.
There's no way that you're going to play against one of the best defensive teams. I think they're like 6th or 7th in goals against, I think. Mm-hmm. They're top of the league in goals against. It's going to be so hard for Toronto to win this matchup, in my opinion.
Okay,
I'm going Tampa in
7?
6.
Really? Don't even give them 7.
Don't even give them game 7.
All right. Well, I was very interested to hear what you guys say because it looks like I pulled the short straw. I think Toronto's going to finally do it. I think they're finally going to get past the first round, and here's my reasoning. Okay, Tampa Bay, before they won their 2 cups, what happened to them in 2019?
Swept.
They got swept by the Columbus Blue Jackets. That's right.
The greatest series that ever happened. The Columbus Blue Jackets played 8 games at playoffs.
Yes,
That's got to be one of the first times that's happened.
Right.
They went 2 rounds and played 8 games.
Before the Stars won the Stanley Cup in 1999, what happened in 1998?
I wasn't alive then.
I was dead.
Yeah, neither one of y'all were alive then. But what happened was
they lost.
They lost in a really rough series, and here's my point. They learned to lose. I think Toronto learned how to lose. You can't make any more epic loss than the series they had against the Montreal Canadiens. That was the easiest way for them to get the Stanley Cup final, and they didn't do it.
I agree with you, Ryan. They're the best losers.
You are missing something.
What?
This team has been losing for years.
For literally 50 years.
They know how to lose. Experienced losers ever. And they still can't make it past the first round.
We all picked Florida. Florida has not won a series since 1996 when they went to the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah, but Florida's insane. They've been down, and you've seen these games. They're down 4 goals in the
Toronto's
third period.
Done the same thing.
They're still
not to the same, not to the same extreme. Yes,
there's no way.
Not to the same extreme, but they have gone out of their way to be down like 4-1 or even give up 3-goal leads and still find a way to win the game. They've done it. They've been able to do that.
They've also found ways to lose games.
Yes.
I think it's Toronto.
Toronto finds its ways to lose games. That doesn't happen in Florida.
Florida finds ways to win.
Scoring. They just keep scoring and scoring and scoring and scoring. It doesn't.
And can you imagine if Florida tries for an entire game? They might score 12.
They might.
Next matchup. Wait, give us your games. How many games?
Well, it has to be in 7. It's not going to be in 6. Toronto.
Next matchup.
And can I say quintuple overtime?
Sure.
And Matthews gets the game-winning goal. I'll say that. There we go.
Ew.
Okay.
No, it's gonna be Jason Spezza if that happens.
Or no, even better. It'll be Jason Spezza.
Next matchup.
I hate
you. Okay. Anyways, all right. Next matchup. This will be an interesting one too. Carolina and Boston. Who do y'all think wins in this series?
Carolina in 5.
Really? Okay.
Boston doesn't have the goaltending.
That's not true at all. Not true.
Yeah, I don't agree with
Calling it.
Jeremy Swayman is up for the Calder Trophy. Yeah, he's probably going to be a finalist.
Not going to be enough.
Oh man, I don't know about this one.
It's hard. This is another. I mean, I'm telling you, the East is really hard to pick. All the teams are good.
The Metropolitan is hard to pick. The Atlantic, not so much. Oh man, is Boston gonna have fairy tale magic, or is Carolina just gonna be shut down and kill them in 4 games?
I don't think it'll be 4 games.
I think this is the most likely to be a sweep.
I think it is too. It's such a hard. It really depends on how hard this series is played from both teams for me. So I don't know. I'll make this my underdog one. I'll say Boston in 7.
Yeah, I respect that. That's gonna be a really fun series to pay attention to. The one thing that I look at that Boston may have over Carolina is that I think they're a little bit more physical than Carolina in some ways, but Carolina has a better forecheck, a way better forecheck, and that also kind of goes in with physicality. So I would give the edge to Boston in the physicality department, but it's not going to be enough. Carolina is going to win this series. They'll win it in 6. That's what I think.
Next matchup.
Yep. And then the last matchup in the East here. And again, another intriguing one. This is a really, really intriguing one. The New York Rangers and the Pittsburgh Penguins. What do y'all think?
Yeah, I got Rangers. Rangers.
Oh.
Goaltending Rangers this season, in my opinion.
James went robot voice. What did you say, James?
You have to say it again, James.
I put Rangers in 5.
We got enough out of that. Rangers in 5.
Rangers in 5. Good enough.
Unreal.
You're gone, James. Your internet's done. My turn. Pittsburgh in 7. This is my upset. I think Pittsburgh going to win. Crosby good. Crosby's going to make his one last push to the cup, and the Penguins are going to suck next year.
Well, and here's the thing. I'm going with the Penguins as well. Because the past 2 years, I've gone against them and said they were going to miss the playoffs, and they still made the playoffs both years. And they've lost too many times in the first round at this point. I think this is it. I think this is one of their last times to truly go after and get that 4th Stanley Cup for Sid the Kid, who is no longer Sid the Kid. He's still stupid amazing. I think he got his 1400th point in his 1100th game. Something stupid like that. And
it was like
I'm not gonna go against him. Do what?
That's like
Sorry,
2
James,
games after Ovechkin hit 14. It's like 2 games after Ovechkin hit 14,000 as well.
So
14,000. Wow.
By 2 games.
Yeah, that's going to be one of my upsets too. So I picked Pittsburgh in 7 in that series. So anything else, guys? I think that's it for the Eastern Conference because the Eastern Conference are already set. Anything else we need to talk about tonight?
Who from the East is going to the Cup final?
Oh, man.
Oh, my gosh. That's even
They don't
harder.
have to win it, but who's going?
In my opinion, whoever comes from the East is going to win the Cup, even if it's Colorado that comes from the West. In my opinion.
Who's it going to be? Name it. I'll name it first. It's going to be Carolina finally. They're finally going to do it. The past 5 years, they've been contenders, and they're finally going to do something with it.
I think Tampa Bay comes back to the finals.
Oh my God!
I don't think they'll win it this year, but I really think they're going to make it back there.
I would be so upset.
I want it to be like a Darth Vader battle in the final.
Darth Vader battle.
It's literally straight up good versus evil.
Yes, it's good versus evil.
Oh, man.
That's what I want to think of it as. That'll be so much fun. It doesn't matter who else they would be playing against.
I don't think y'all are gonna like me for who I think is.
He's gonna say Toronto.
I am gonna say Toronto.
You nasty boy.
If they make it past the first round, I'll give it to Toronto. I don't think they're gonna make it past the first round.
They know how to lose, therefore they will win.
I hate
That's what the Stars did.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
I'm sorry.
Yep. I don't. And, I really want to pick Florida because they have such an amazing team. They really do. Their offense is second to none. There's not a team that's even close, even Toronto. But the thing is the players that are on their team don't have playoff experience. They're top guys. Barkov, Huberdeau, they're not going to have Ekblad for the playoffs. I think he's still going to be hurt. And then their goaltender is Sergei Bobrovsky, he's a great goalie, don't get me wrong. But none of those guys have, the playoffs are so different, so different. I want to say Florida. I really do. I just don't see it. They haven't lost like Toronto has.
Yeah, that's why I didn't say Florida. I agree with you. Not because they haven't lost, but because they haven't won, That's what I'm saying. But I think in the next couple years, Florida will be in the Cup final. But I agree, they don't have enough experience.
No doubt there. I agree with you 100% there. That their window is opening up. I know they're the best team in the NHL right now, and I know that I'm saying like it's opening up now, but they've got like a 5-year window here, I think.
All right, so now that all of our fans love me and hate y'all, we can wrap it up.
Yep. James says Tampa from the East. I say Toronto. Right. Chris says Carolina. So we all have 3 different ones. That'll be interesting.
We should root for them. We'll root for them. We're gonna get some. We're gonna get some merch
for them. Come on.
We're not gonna see them in the. I don't see the Stars making the Stanley Cup final. But if they do,
we need another Cinderella run so that we can have our matchup again.
Bro, imagine a redemption. That would be so cool.
Oh, can you imagine if Tampa Bay makes it and we make it again?
And then we lose again.
And then we lose again.
We have to win so that Perry's legend goes on. He's lost in the Stanley Cup Finals twice now. He needs to make it 3.
You're right.
I love that storyline.
That would be cool.
Oh, that's some weird like Stranger Things crap going on there.
All right, wrap it up, Brian. I'm sleepy.
All right, we're gonna finish it up here tonight. This has been the after game review for Game 77. Stars lose 5-2 to the Edmonton Oilers. Plus, we talk a little bit of Eastern Conference playoff predictions here tonight. Please go and use the promo code THPN the next time you go and use the DraftKings app or their website for a special little offer from them. Hockey is getting to the playoffs. NBA playoffs are already in full swing, and the MLB started their season. So there are lots of things to bet on. Go and use that. We'd appreciate that, and we appreciate them being our sponsor. Also, go and check out the StarcasticRemarksShop.com merch store. That's how you can best support us and what we do here at Sarcastic Remarks. We'd love you guys to go and check out all of our phase 1 of our merch there, including some new stickers that I just released from Chris and I It's like little things of our faces and our little catchphrases. I'll say mine here in a second. Chris can't say his tonight, but hopefully he can do it tomorrow, but we'll see. Anyways, that's going to do it here for us tonight. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. We hope you have a good, fantastic evening, morning, afternoon, whenever you're listening to this podcast. See you guys later.